Hello everyone, I really hope you're all safe and well. Now on today's show we have got a fantastic selection of distress products from Tim Holtz. So we've got crayons, we've got inks, we've got stamps, we've got stencils, and everything obviously works together beautifully. And I thought what we'd start on doing is looking at the distress crayons and creating a background straight away and see how we can use them, what sort of techniques we can do with them. Now, the distress crayons are slightly different to what we consider a crayon to be. For one, we would think a crayon is normally hard, but the distress crayons are definitely not that. So if I take the lid off, the distress crayons, you just roll them up there and you can make them as long to open it up. Now the distress crayons are a beautiful, highly pigmented, water-soluble product, and they're just kept in this wonderful barrel. Unlike crayons that we're used to, these are lovely and soft and really, really creamy. They are water reactive, which means we can do all our water techniques with them. So that makes them highly versatile. Being part of the distress range as well, it means that all the colours will match up with other colours in the in the distress series. So I thought, let's have a play and let's see what we can actually do with the crayons and what we can create, and just see where it goes from there. So I have a rough plan in my head, but I just thought we just go and see what happens. Now what I wanted to do though is I just want to quickly mask off a few areas so I can leave them free. Now, I'm being really brave today. Instead of using circles, which is my normal go-to, I'm going to do some rectangles. So I'm just going to do them in different sizes, and let's have a think. Let's move that one. I don't know whether to have this. Giving myself lots of different options here. Do I do it centrally to one side? I'm going to go, let's go like that for now, because I can always cut them down. Right. So they're just some self-removable pieces. And then what I thought we could do is have a look at the crayons. Now the crayons, as I said, are highly pigmented, and you can lay down lots of colour, you can lay down little colour. I'm working on the put my teeth in, the distress watercolour card, okay? And we're going to just play with that because obviously we're going to do water techniques. And when you put the crayon down, like I said, you can press lightly, or you can really press down and pack a lot of colour down. So I'm just going to add some colour in different places. And I love working on the watercolour card because you can get some of the wonderful texture from the watercolour card coming through. So let's just do another little bit up here. So I like to just pull mine back in down. Only reason is I'm dreadful for getting them caught up in my lids. So what colour should we go for next? Let's go for a nice bright colour. So I'm going to go for the crushed olive, which is in set 7. I mean, what colour did I use there? Oh, I used Festive Berries. I can't remember which set. Oh, I think that's set 2. So we'll do a bit of that there. And I'd like a blue. Let's have a think. Let's go for this blue. See how bright it is. Oh, that's quite dark. I might go for a lighter one in a minute. No, it doesn't matter. Put a bit up there. So I'll lighten that off. Let's get a yellow. I'll squeeze lemonade. And let's put a bit of yellow here. And as you can see, when I went over, they will blend on each other, but also because the crayons have that semi-opaque finish, they will lay on top of each other as well. So you can get a lovely translucent effect. You can blend with them, but you can also layer on top, which I think is wonderful. Let's put a little bit of yellow here. I'm going to put a bit up there. You can see it's starting to blend a bit there. If I go like that, you can see it's blending. And I'm just going to put a bit there. Right, I'm going to start off with that. We might add a few more colours. So I've just put some crayon down. And you can do different things. You can get your finger and you can smudge them out if you really want to. You could, put a tiny drop of water on your finger and you can blend them out. And as you can see, they blend beautifully out. Really soft. Well, not soft in colour, but they're actually soft to work with. Because the colour intensity, is, as you can see there, packs a real punch. So I'm just going to go into a little bit of the squeeze lemonade so I can blend out that way. You can get your paint brushes and you can blend out with your paint brushes if that's what you want to do. So I could blend out with my paint brushes if I wanted to. And we can do it there. And because I've left the colours to try not to merge too much, I've got lovely bold bulks, but I can go over these and add to them. Now, one of the things I like to do when I'm blending mine out is I like to use the felts that you normally use for your alcohol inks. One, because I've got a handle, and if you don't want to get your fingers dirty, it's perfect. And you can blend with them. Now, normally we would put rubbing alcohol, we put our alcohol on there, but all I'm going to do is I'm just going to mist the felt pad. Like that. And I can actually then use that to start to blend out. And I can blend my colours. Now, if I don't want the colours to go too much into each other, just grab a scrap piece of card, she says. Move the stamping block. I can take off the excess colour. Because I've still got some damp on there, I might need to put a bit more. I can carry on going. Right, let's clean that off a little bit. I don't change the pads. I'll keep the pads and go forever and a day. I'm just going to take off the excess there. And then what I do with the pads after I finish the project, I'll wash them. And then they're ready for another project. Now, I could have added a lot more depth to the crayons. So I could have put them on slightly thicker. But I actually just want to slowly but surely build up the actual colours. So you can go over them. That's perfectly fine. As you can see there, they've got a semi-translucent, so they will bed on top of each other, but you can still see the slight shade of the colour below. You can use your finger or you can use your blending tool like I'm doing. Like I said, one of the other benefits for using the felt, I find, is it's quicker and I can create my backgrounds much quicker. So I've created a quick background using the Distress Crayons and my pad. And I clean this off. As I said, I just gently rinse it in water and leave it to dry. But you can take off the excess colour, ready to use for another time. So I'm just going to leave that to one side to dry, and then we'll move on adding some more layers with the Distress Crayons. Right, that's dried beautifully, and I've grabbed myself some stencils. So I've got the Shifter Burst, the wonderful lace, and the gradient dots. I thought we'd have a play with these, with the crayons, and then we can bring some of the Distress inks in. But I really wanted to make my focus for my background with the crayons. So I'm going to start, let's say, with this beautiful lace design. Now, because we used the felt pads, we can carry on doing that. So I could, if I wanted to, what colour have I could get some of this and I can put it in the centre of my felt pad. Now I can spritz it, or I could just leave it as is, and I'm going to leave it as, and I can then go over and it just lightly blends it in place, so you can start seeing it through there. So I can use the crayon that way. Oh, she says putting it back in place there. I can, which I do like to do, is I can put the crayon, I'm trying to put it in colour families because I want to try and work tone on tone a little bit. I can put the crayon in there and I can still grab my felt pad and I can blend it in this way. Now I like to do it this way, not because it necessarily lays down more colour, it does, but I just like the effect it leaves on your work. It leaves, I don't know if you can see, like a little raised edge, as if you've used a paste or a medium through it. And I love the effect that that gives on your work. So, I mean, you can use your finger to spread it out. You don't have to use the felt pad. So I'm just going to put a little bit of colour in different places. So if I wanted to, I could use my finger. For speed, I'm just going to use the felt pad. I just find it easier. And we've got a bit there. Let's have a think. Let's do a bit down here. And we'll add a little bit more. And do it like that. Now if I wanted this to be a wetter, I can just lightly mist my felt pad again. And I can spread it out and it will go even further, because obviously the crayon is water soluble, so it's allowing me to blend over a larger area if that's what you want. So if I take that away, you can see where it's blended over and it's added a little bit more impact. So I'm going to go back over this bit again and try and work out where I went. I think that might be more tricky, so I think I'll just go for it. So that looks, well, I quite like that. That looks quite scrummy actually. And this goes when I was saying, when you put the crayon through the stencil, I'm hoping the camera can pick it up, you can actually see it's got like a raised lip, a raised area, which gives a little bit more of another dimension. Just move that out of the way, let's put that out of the way. So let's go over with these. So what shall we do? What colour shall we do? I'm going to go, I think I might go the shabby shutters again. And I'm going to do exactly the same. And just put down in different places where I'd like it to go. I'm just going to give this a bit of a spritz so the red is not the main colour, and just wipe it off on my scrap piece of paper. You could do this in your art journals if you want. Now you can see how much intensity, how rich the pigment is by how long it's taking me to clean this. That'll do. Right, what else do I want to do? Let's have a think. Right, I've got the circles here and I just want to add one or two of those. So as you can see there, it looks more pronounced, more ray, and I've got that raised edging. Now, if that you didn't like that too great much, we could get, you know, we can get our finger in a little bit of water and we could blend it out gently. And you can make it a little bit smoother, as you can see. So we can leave it like that. And I'm happy with that. So I'm just going to leave it like that to dry. And once it's dry, we'll come back and we'll have a play with one or two of the stamps. My background is dry, which is brilliant. And I thought I want to play with some of the stamps that we've got on the show. And the first one I thought I'd look at is the flower jar. And I just want to create something around these areas here. So let's, which one should we do? Let's try that one. And I'm going to stamp them in the archival. Lovely big ink pad. Can't miss this. And I thought what I would try and do is stamp around. So we're creating frames around these parts here. So let's have a think. I might actually do this one first. And yeah, let's do that. So sitting a bit like that. And I could have this one coming over. And let's do another one. So let's have a think. I can always ground it. So let's put another one there. Yeah, let's do 3 near each other. Now you get 2 different size jars. You get the larger one and you get the slightly smaller one. Both have loads and loads of detail. What should we do in this one? Let's do this. Okay. Oh, I like that one. And what should we do in this one? Let's have a think. Oh. Well, it's when you have so much and it's so beautiful. It's hard to know which one to choose first. So I'm going to go, let's go like that. And I'll join it with that one. And we'll have one of these. So all I'm doing is taking the different stamps and just building up what I'd like to see in all of the flower jars. That'd be nice to make it look like that's resting on the ground. Let's cover up my splodge. Just do another one beside it. Right, I'm happy with that. I might add more, I might add less, but I think for the moment I'm actually quite happy with that. So I'm just going to put the stamps to one side. And now I'm just going to take away where I put my covering. And this is where I hope the mucky fingers in me doesn't do. Right, so that's, I can use them again because they're still sticky. So now I've got 3 portions like that, and I thought they would be perfect either to put the butterflies in or to do some journaling, absolutely anything. So I'm going to quickly grab the butterfly stamps and let's have a play and see what we could do. Okay, I've grabbed the butterflies, but first what I thought would be good we could do is I just grabbed a bit of scrap paper and a couple of micron pens. I could just do some little squiggles around the edge. So I know I've created the boxes, you know, as the rectangular. I just think they stand out too straight lined, if that makes sense. And considering, you know, it's a collage mix, I don't know, it just didn't look right being just perfectly straight edges. So I thought I'd doodle just some little lines around the outside. There we go. I'm trying to justify why I'm doing it, but I don't know, in my eye it just feels that, you know, it just takes away from the nice straight. Yeah, no, I prefer that. I definitely prefer that. Just a little bit from there. Okay, so what I've done in between was these are ones I've had from previous projects from the different butterflies. So we could technically, you know, stamp straight in. We could stamp half in, half off and have a butterfly going. Straight again and lift it up. I quite like the contrast on the, you know, the butterflies not actually having any colour. So let's have a think. Right, I've got another one there. So I could do it with 3. So I could have one in each box like that, rather than, and then I could stamp some around, but in the distress inks that is similar to the background colour here. So I've got some of the blue there, so I could use some of the faded jeans and stamp a butterfly there, so I can bring it up there. But I actually quite like the starkness of those against each other. So let's find those butterflies and stamp them in and see whether we're going to layer them up or leave them as is. So is that one? I can't tell. No, there's so many beautiful choices of butterflies. You know, I don't know which one to pick first. Right, let's do this one. And put that in there. I'm going to put it slightly higher, because then if I wanted to stamp a quote or write something underneath, I could do. And that's come out beautifully. So what else one did I choose? I chose that one. Do you know what would be quicker? Is if I turn this over, because then I could see it straight away. Oh dear, I'm going to blame it on the fact that it's really early in the morning and I'm doing this actually live and not via VT, and that's why. Right, let's put another one there. Let's put that one out of the way. And then we've got that one. So which one did I choose for that one? Oh, that one there. Move that. And put this one in the centre. Okay, I'm going to close the ink pad. So I've actually got the butterflies, so they become, you know, the focal piece. I could, because I've got these other ones here, you know, I could add a double layer and make them stand out. Have a look. So they could stand out like that. I could add some sentiments. I'm not quite sure, but I'm going to leave it there for the moment, and then I'll go off and have a play and see where it takes me. But the goal of this demo was really to demonstrate different ways that you can use the distress crayons to create a background, and then, you know, bring everything in, use them with your stencils, use them with the felt pads to blend out as you saw, the wonderful stamps we've got on the show on top, and just create a wonderful piece for your art journal. Right, I'm going to go off and have a play and see where I can take this, because I can feel myself in a dithering mood. And I'll show you a little bit later what I've actually done with it. Thanks for watching.